Sunday Night Football. We will hear now. Here's a guy, that sweet voice of Chris Collinsworth. Love him or hate him. One of my favorite commentators in the game right now. One of the founders of Pro Football Focus, the amazing stats website. So we have the Dallas Cowboys as 3-point favorites on the road taking on your New York Football Giants.
Right. And the spread's moved a little bit. It actually moved inward. It was 3.5 to start the week, moved in a little bit. The Cowboys and Giants games are pretty explosive most of the time.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a similar game, close game overall. I have the Cowboys winning it, but I do think that the Giants can actually make some noise with Darren Waller. We'll see what they have with Jalen Hyatt and Saquon. I do think that they'll be able to move the ball against the Cowboys as they work to lock up their defense moving forward. I think they'll have a top 5 defense throughout the season, but week 1, they're probably going to struggle to stop the Giants, at least to start. That being said, when it's Daniel Jones versus Dak Prescott, come on now. Dak Prescott, say what you will. Yes, confidently, 100%.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, Daniel Jones. The problem with Daniel Jones, yes, he can run, but you know what he can't do? Throw the football. As a quarterback, you got to throw the football. And I don't trust the Giants to repeat their success from last year. And the Cowboys, on paper, they're a lot better, and I still think they pull this win out.
So for me, this is the perfect smokescreen game for Giants fans, and I'll say why. I feel like the Cowboys, continuity-wise, are a little... They're not on the same page right now. You have players yelling at Dak Prescott. You have Trayvon Diggs yelling profanities at him in practice. You have Dak Prescott staring at receivers and then throwing at him and then getting picked off in practice, have him getting picked off 3 times in 10 minutes. And then have him with a new offensive coordinator. You have Mike McCarthy, who's not as good of a coach as Brian Daboll. So week 1, who's going to have his team ready to go? Well, what I do know we'll have with the Giants, and one of the reasons why I'm not high on them is the question mark of Saquon's health. I think Saquon will be revamped and ready to go. So I think the run game will actually be in the Giants' favor here. And then you'll have Darren Waller. You'll have some new plays with Daniel Jones. And I think it's going to come down to a Dak Prescott turnover. It's going to be an ugly game just because it's week 1. But I'm actually going to go with the New York Giants in this game. And that's coming from someone who is a Steelers fan, grew up in New England, definitely not a Giants fan by any stretch of the imagination, have been ripping them all offseason, but have also been ripping the Cowboys as far as Mike McCarthy, the play calling on offense. And it's not like the Cowboys are loaded with weapons across the board. So the Giants defense has gotten better, and I think they win this game. And it's a big smokescreen for week 1, and the Giants fall off, but I think they can win it.
Yeah, I mean, they did beat the Titans last year. Nobody predicted them to. And then not only that, Darren Waller, just based on their few sets they had in the preseason, he's going to be getting like 150 targets. I mean, It seems like it's going to be slants with Darren Waller and screens with Saquon Barkley, and then maybe Jalen Hyatt can be their deep threat, but who knows? But overall, I feel like Darren Waller could finish with 8 catches, 100 yards, and Saquon can finish with 100 yards rushing. This is a game, like I said, I think it's going to be like a 23-20 sort of game, 24-21, whatever you want to call it. Goes either way. I lean Cowboys, but Giants definitely can see the vision.
And what I say there is Dak Prescott's going to be willing to put the ball in harm's way. Daniel Jones isn't. Well, like the problems is like he can make the reads, but he gets a little like, oh, I don't want to turn the ball over. And last year he definitely limited some of his interceptions, didn't have the fumble problems. And then in week 1, where we're figuring out things on the fly with these teams, Daniel Jones is someone who can run the football. Dak Prescott cannot. Dak Prescott is more likely to throw a few picks in this game. So that's why I think the Giants are a favorite in this game. And that's coming from someone who's by no stretch of the imagination a Giants fan.